performance?
Just probably the gutsy effort, Tone. We had some adversity today, with losing Keegan Hipgrave this morning with a back, and then Kevin Proctor in the warm-up, and then obviously Ryan James early in the game. You look at Kevin Proctor normally plays 80 minutes, and Ryan James plays just about 80 at times, so it put a lot of strain on our bench. A lot of our bench haven't played a lot of footy. That was Stockwell's first game back in the NRL after having some time out. Mo Fodawaker hasn't played much footy this year, and Maxi King's obviously played a bit off the bench as well, and Boydie's coming back from an injury as well. So our bench haven't played a lot of minutes. So I was really, really proud of the performance that they showed.
Big Boydie really stepped up in the first 5 as well. Did you think that was a big effort for him? His best effort of the year?
Yeah, it was. He was very good, and especially when he thought he was starting on the bench up until the warm-up. So, those big guys, they try and wire themselves ready to go when they're going to be playing. So to get dropped on him right at the warm-up, hey, you're starting now. He's a quality front rower. He played for Australia. He didn't do that by fluke. The more game time you see Boydie play, I'm sure you'll start to see some the best of Shannon Boyd yet. That's for sure.
How long was it before kick-off that you knew Proctor was going to be out?
When they come back in ready before they went out to the game. I knew he had a little bit of tightness there, but all the signs were he was going to be fine. I have some good support crew out there doing the warm-up, and we have things in place in case something happens. And it's funny, when I looked on the back of what happened with the Roosters, that we sort of thought, we talked about it today, that what's our plan if something happens in a warm-up, and that's why we carry 18 men. It wasn't ideal, but Jack Stockwell I thought was great. His first game of the year, he's played a couple of games of Queensland Cup just off the bench. Hasn't played big minutes, but I knew he's played a lot of first grade games, Jack, so I knew he'd do a job.
Joe Whitbread's looking like a guy that belongs in the NRL level, I think.
He's doing well. He's only 2 games into his career, but he's doing well. One thing about Jai, he does all the little things very good. He's with the coaches during the week, doing video review, trying to be better. He's been doing that for the last 18 months since I've been here. He's probably the most diligent player in our team as far as doing reviews on his game, and it's been back at Burleigh, but he comes in, we go through that with him, and Luke Burton, Craig Hodges, my assistants, do a great job with Whitty, and been doing a really good job with him, and it's showing. He's not looking out of place out there, that's for sure.
What can you tell us about the extent of Ryan's injury?
I don't know, Tone. It doesn't look good. Just the way he fell down with not too many people around him. He was in a fair bit of pain. We'll have scans done on Tuesday, because we can't get them done tomorrow, being Easter Monday. But from more reports, it doesn't look positive.
Because it looked like a collision kind of impact injury, but that's obviously not what you think at the moment.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it is just an impact injury. But the doctors have looked at it, they're very concerned about it, but we won't know until we get scans done.
Be a big blow if it's...
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be. But, fingers crossed, Dark's a big sook sometimes, so maybe just carrying on.
He definitely is.
Who stepped up with the captaincy when Dark was off the field?
Tyrone Roberts, he's probably, one of the, along with Michael Gordon, probably the 2 most experienced out there. I just thought Tyrone being around the halves, controlling the team, I thought he was a logical choice, but he's got some good help around him, with Flash and Anthony Don and Dale Copley and those sort of guys. And Mitchell Rain, there's a little bit of a leadership crew out there, but because Tyrone was dominant half out there at the time, I thought he was the best man to lead the team, and he showed, did a good job.
Yeah, certainly, almost exclusively did the kicking, he really running the show, I guess, out there, and letting Ash sort of play second fiddle almost.
Yeah, he did, and Tyrone, he's a good player. There's no doubt about that. I was very, very fortunate to get him back here at the Gold Coast Titans, and he led the team around. Probably cost us 1 there with that try to Barnett, but he made up with the 2 more. So, but he's he's a quality footballer, and he's experienced. He's got a lot of game time under his belt. He knows how to control a game. I thought he kicked very well, and did a really good job.
Phil Sammy obviously had a setback early in the season. What's he done the past month to earn your trust back?
He's worked really hard at training. He's focused on the little things, doing some extras after training, and just trying to be better. And he's hungry. He wants the spot. He wants to get his spot back. And that's great. It's good competition to have when you've got a guy like quality of Phil Sammy coming off the bench, chopping at the bit for a starting spot, and he'll keep Donny and Digger and Peach and Brian Kelly honest. And that's what we need. You need depth in your squad to really compete throughout the year, and he gives us that. And I thought he was great today.
How do you feel about that 14, position? Like, is Phil kind of, do you like having that outside back option each week, or do you sort of adjust it depending on what, I guess, else you've got in the squad that week? Or
You have to have coverage for outside backs. You know, you can't just have 4 forwards on your bench. You need some sort of coverage for something happens to an outside back. And most teams have a utility player that can play back row, centre, wing. Well, we've got a handy one in Tyrone Peachey. He's too good to be on the bench. But if there is an injury to a forward, which we saw today, you know, Tyrone was more than capable of jumping in on that edge. You know, he's played it before. So instead of having utility on the bench like most teams have, I just got mine in the starting team. And, you know, I spoke to him at half time and said, mate, so I changed him from one side to the other and back and forth and put him in the back row. And I said, oh, mate, I apologise. He said, coach, I'll do whatever's best for the team. You know, and that's why I'm sure Freddie will be watching today and saying, well, he is the best utility in the game and he has to be my origin team. And he showed there today what's best for the team. He jumped there on an edge and did a great job.
So I was going to say, just with Wallace sideline still and Ryan's injury, is the forward depth don't be tested, you feel, in the next couple of weeks?
Well, hopefully Hipgrave and Proctor will be right next week. You know, then you got Wallace the week after. But in saying that, you saw the guys that come in today who stepped in. You know, I've got the utmost faith in Jack Stockwell and Mo Fodawaker. So much with Mo, I actually started him. You know, we got Whitbreads who are putting their hand up, and we've got some other kids in our systems that are working really hard. We've still got Lani Latu back playing at Tweed as well. So we've got some depth there for the guys that want to put their hand up and grab their spot. Same as what Jai Whitbread did. He's worked really hard. He's grabbed his opportunity, and now he doesn't want to let it go. Like he was going to be my team this weekend regardless on the back of last week's performance. You know, so we've got some players, once they get their crack, they want to hang on to it and they want to work hard. But, you know, you need that depth if you want to really compete against some of the best sides and get some consistency, which we're hopefully trying to do.
Garth, you spoke a couple of weeks ago that the execution wasn't there, the polish wasn't there. I mean, that last try, the polish was certainly there on that occasion.
It was, you know, it was like, yeah, you know, Bryce has copped some criticism over the years, but there ain't too many back rowers that can throw that pass and do what he did. And they're starting to come together. Tyrone and Nash are very close. They work together. You know, we weren't perfect today. We had some chop and changes. We had, you know, Peach in the back row. We haven't done any training with him in the back row. We had, at one stage, we had Rainey defending on an edge and at 4-man because we lost Donny for a head HI8 test. So, you know, so we were a bit scattered at times. But, you know, when we get our team together, and we showed we did that at the back end of the game there, you know, there's some class. I have no concern about us scoring points the more time we play together, you know, and then going forward you have the likes of Brimson back in a few weeks' time and it adds to the spark to the team going forward.
Can I just ask quickly the patience early on? Obviously it was an arm wrestle in the first 15 minutes and you sensed that the first try was going to be pretty important. Would the guys have shown that kind of patience 2 or 3 weeks ago, do you think? Is that what winning does?
It does, Tone, but I spoke in the press conference last week about our approach to the games going forward, and there was a lot of expectation on the Titans at the start of the year, and I think the players felt that and they were trying too hard. And I said that right from the start. I think we're trying too hard. You know, we're fit enough. He showed at the back end of that game how fit we are, that defensive effort there from Arrow and the boys came over the top and we scored the last try. So we're fit enough. It was just the fact that I just thought they had, you know, they're trying too hard. They're forcing passes. They just thought, hang on, it's not coming and we've got to try and create something. Where this time of year, it's very much about completing your sets, building some combinations. And the more time we can spend together and keep some players on the park, you know, the better we're going to be. You know, and I know that. And we'll be better side attacking at the back end of the year than what we'll be at the start of the year, as long as we keep them healthy, keep some combinations filming. And belief is a big thing. We've had a win and, you know, a bit of expectation and the pressure's gone off the players. And my message to them is go out there and enjoy their footy, have fun. You know, you play footy because you love it. You know, and I want to see the smile on their faces. I want to see them enjoy it. And the last 2 weeks, we've won, but I've seen in the games the boys have just relaxed a little bit. Whereas early in the season, we were uptight. I was probably a bit uptight as well, so maybe I've chilled out a bit too.
So,
thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.